Anything makes a difference.
Anything makes a difference.
Anything helps.
Everything
guys.
helps.
You listening each and every week with us helps.
Yeah. I think it's important to be fully attentive when you're listening to any podcast.
Oh, especially this one.
Sit your ass down and listen.
Yeah, the best way, the ultimate Cleveland Rocks experience is really sitting down with no distractions.
Correct.
Preferably like a blank wall, maybe like an insane asylum. You
Yeah.
know, maybe all the walls are padded with a nice, cushy, pillowy fabric.
You're in a nice beanbag chair.
Yeah.
You've got your fancy straitjacket on.
Yes.
And you're giving in for another 50 minutes with your favorite two boys in the whole wide world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Welcome to Cleveland Rocks.
After dark.
After dark. It's another night ep.
It's another night app.
It's not too late. We've done them later, but
Yeah.
it is pretty late. How are you doing, TJ?
This is the early bird special.
The early bird after dark.
Yeah, the early bird after dark. I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm on the back half of an illness here. So trying my best to not cough up a lung during this podcast.
This is your flu game.
This
really.
is my flu game. This is true, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just letting you know I might cough. I might wheeze a little bit. I've got a cough drop in right now, and I can hear it against my teeth, and it's making me wonder if it's picking up on the mic.
No.
Just nice little ambient sounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is like ASMR sucking.
Exactly.
Shane sucking on
ASMR,
a
if you're
cough
really
drop.
into a guy struggling with spring allergies. I think it's really fun. We watched another 2 episodes of The Drew Carey Show. We're getting near the end of season 1 here.
Yeah.
We're about 4 episodes away now after these 2 eps, because there's 22 total, and we just finished 18. Hell of a time that we've been this late winter into early summer.
Well, it's still like winter. Oh, you mean us doing
I mean
this.
us doing it over the
Oh, I
course
mean
of...
in the episodes.
Yeah, no, it's
it
like
hasn't
springtime.
changed much. It is funny how we're kind of watching them. Like,
seasonally, we're kind of catching
seasonally.
up. Not really.
Not
but-
really. I mean, we're way behind now.
Yeah,
I
we
guess
just
it
did a
is
Christmas
May.
episode. I was going to say it was April and we did the Christmas eps.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kind of catching up. We're getting near springtime. We're getting near the end, and I think, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here because this will be the last episode we talk about it. But I think I see where the arc might be going, where we might be ending here, the conflicts we're setting up.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever the end of season 1 resolution
Correct.
is.
Yeah.
Ideally, I imagine they wrap the conflict you're talking about up by the end of season 1. or else
I
that
would
be
imagine
ridiculous.
it has to.
Yeah, so we start off with episode 17
Episode
here.
17 here. It's called The Front.
Yes.
Fun little cameo for the cold
Oh, yeah.
that goes kind of nowhere.
Who else but another comedy legend
Yeah.
of this
Of
era.
the 90s ABC network.
Tim Allen.
So Drew is making beer chili,
Yes.
and he hears some noise outside, decides to go see what all the hullabaloo is about. Tim Allen has gotten stuck in a tree parachuting over Cleveland, Ohio.
I forget what his explanation was as to why he was doing. They were doing something for either a television series. I think it was ABC.
I believe it's like a
they-
charity event, if I'm not mistaken, as well, that they're filming it, but it's for a charity event. It's involving John Goodman, I thought.
Yeah, John Goodman's a part of it.
And he was parachuting and just got stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He landed in the tree above Drew's pool table.
Yeah. And he's just desperate to get down. But unfortunately for him, everybody in that house does not care about getting him down. Drew is so excited that a celebrity
Hey,
is in
Tim
his backyard.
Allen stuck in my tree.
There you go.
What did he say? My Tim Allen tree finally bore fruit.
Yeah, and then, he's just making fun of Drew for being completely incompetent and getting him down from this tree.
Well, Drew asked him to do the grunt, though, of course,
Yeah.
which we did get the grunt.
Yeah.
So that was good. But then, the rest of the gang comes out,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, finally, adults. Little does Tim Allen know
Yeah.
that they are all the
They're
same
all
person.
man and women children.
Yes, prompting him to be like, are you guys all cousins? or
Lewis
what's
tries to
going
take a
on?
photo with him. Kate asks for an autograph. And what does he write on the piece of paper? It's something like, call the police.
Yeah, and he said, show this to anyone. And then the John Goodman, yeah.
John
so John
Goodman,
Goodman's
so
following him.
They feel like there's a solar eclipse happening, and it's just fat John Goodman. Because God bless the '90s, Roseanne era John Goodman.
God, don't we miss fat John Goodman?
Did I ever tell you this story? I dressed up once for work, and when I get dressed up for work, it just involved me wearing a flannel, and I had a coworker say I looked nice, and then he said, "You look like '90s era John Goodman." And I said, that is not a compliment.
That was what the
That's
fuck is
a
that?
dig. That's a
The
dig.
fact that he We all
Specified.
know the John Goodman you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. He's thinking Roseanne era Goodman. and I was like,
Arachnophobia, John Goodman.
Yeah. Not a fan of that as a compliment. I'm just gonna say, if you're looking to compliment a bigger man, do not pull out. Hey, you look like
you look
John
like-
Goodman in the '90s.
From the 90s. Not when he got like a little hot and old and dilfy.
Not like what's that horror
Big
movie he was
Lebowski,
in?
he was a little
Big
skinnier,
Lebowski
right?
would have been okay.
That's when he started.
Don't
to lose
say
weight.
like Flintstones era Goodman. You know what I mean? Don't catch me. No.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the credit. So John.
That's the cold open. Then
cold
we go
open.
to the crux of this, and I would say I think the rest of the season is going to be about Drew and Lisa. And we
Yeah.
talked about it on and off, how Drew kind of needs to put up or get out. You know what I
they've
mean?
kind of peppered it in the whole time too, where
Exactly.
they're like finding different ways to work around it.
Right. So
you know,
we
they were
see-
doing the carpool thing. They were doing some office meetups.
And now we see this is continued, but Drew is bringing Kate as a third party into their conversations,
Yes,
making her
to
cover
kinda
her
diffuse it.
ears whenever they start having sexy talk.
And naturally, they always go back to dreams. This
Yeah.
one starts off as I had another dream about you again. And
Oh, was it the one where I have your father's head in your mother's body?
Right.
Kate's
Yeah.
just sitting there covering her ears. She hates the whole thing, but she starts giggling because how could you not? When you
Yeah,
hear
how could
nonsense
you?
Like that?
Also, your friend's in love. You're
Yeah.
being nice about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we come to find out though that this is causing some strife, some tension between them.
Yeah,
Lisa
Lisa's
is
sick
tired
of it.
of sneaking around.
She kind of gives him, an ultimatum. If I want to be public with this, can we do that?
Yeah.
And Drew is so scared about losing his job, which I do understand. As a manager, he wants to make sure he can keep the best appearances and keep that.
Right. Well, this
Money.
job is his whole life.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, he lives and dies for this department store.
Winfred Lauder's #1 employee.
Yeah, he really. If Drew Carey wasn't Employee of the Month every month,
Yeah.
I don't know
who else would have
who else deserves it. Yeah. So anyway, I wish I took more notes on this scene, but the next note that I have is what the fuck is Mimi's hat?
Mimi is dressed in, I wrote down African garb. I don't know if that's exactly, it's giving dashiki, like her whole fit.
Yes, it's just like brimless, cylindrical hat with like kente made out of kente cloth.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is like,
It's a lot.
if she was wearing that today,
Yeah.
Mimi would 1,000% be canceled.
Yeah,
You could not
probably.
get away with that hat.
Either that
In
or
Cleveland, they're fine pushing the racy stuff, the Indians, etc.
It's a pendulum in my mind. She's either completely canceled or she's invited to the cookout. It's one of the two. I don't know where she falls.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe she has a black boyfriend. I don't know.
It could be. I
could
hadn't
be
even
it
thought
too.
of that. Yeah.
From what we know about Mimi, she isn't really out there.
No.
At all.
Also, I think she's more interested in Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, than
I think
anyone.
she's into a different flavor.
Yeah. So anyway, after Drew and Lisa were talking,
Have this
Drew,
argument.
Drew goes over to Mimi, and this is where we see her dressed in this ridiculous garb. He doesn't even say anything about it, so this is just who she is, who
Yeah.
we've come to know her as. Her whole thing is she has this notice, I guess it is,
Well,
from
we find out that
Oh.
Susie comes by.
Yes.
So Susie from Jewelry comes by. She's been sleeping with Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell has to fire her because Mrs. Lauder, who we met in a previous episode, the owner of the department store.
she noticed that his panty budget has doubled.
Correct. Mr. Bell gets caught sleeping around with one of the underlings that work for him. So he has to fire her. And then as a result, Mr. Bell makes a notice that any management is not allowed to date other employees
like-
that work for them.
Yeah,
Or report
employees
to
that
them.
work for them or report to them. Correct.
So this puts the fear of God in our good friend Drew.
Hold on. The fun caveat here is this will not, of course, apply to homosexual couples.
It is 90s era
Yeah.
Goodman. Yeah, it's, don't
But-
ask, don't tell.
Correct.
Drew is now like newly scared about this idea of going in publicly with Lisa. Doesn't know what to do. I think we then go to his apartment or to his house. He's with the gang. The gang is trying to figure out how, he should...
Different ways they
how to
can work
encourage
around
him,
it.
exactly,
Everyone's
to
kind of
try this.
brainstorming. He's a little down in the dumps. We gotta pepper in the B plot here if that's where you're going.
I was going to say exactly what I want to say. Oswald and Lewis are back on their bullshit,
Yes.
and I love it. So I like that now Oswald is just full-time a delivery guy.
Yeah.
He used to be a DJ and never really had a full-time
well,
job.
then he was doing deliveries sometimes.
For the holidays, yeah.
Yeah.
And then now it just seems like he's full-time some sort of UPS generic sort of delivery guy.
Yeah.
Lewis finds at Drug Co. his job. They're doing like a drug testing sort of program
On employees.
and him and Oswald decide to go in on smart drugs.
Yes.
So
They're testing smart pills.
We don't really know what this means. I'm assuming it's like a Flowers for Algernon sort of situation,
Right.
Where they're just going to learn too much and then it completely goes off.
Yes.
But yeah, Oswald decides he wants to get smart. He wants to get intelligent.
Right.
So they sign up for the smart pills.
Yeah, so they start going through smart pill tests. So that's our little B plot there. But back to everyone brainstorming how to help Drew.
Jay comes in and has a suggestion on how he can work around it. Why don't they just double date as couples? Then the solution would be, let's say an employee at the department store runs into them. Jay's just dating Lisa, and Drew and Kate are out there as friends because that's how people know them. Perfect. I'm sure that's not going to come to bite us in the ass in a weird way.
Everyone's going to be cool with this plan.
It's going to be totally fine and not impact anyone's feelings.
Let's
Go ahead and just say
let's
that
just
that's the
swap.
situation.
Let's just swap girlfriends.
Yeah. Yeah, the good old Cleveland girlfriend swap. Come one, come all.
Yeah, let's do this.
Come everybody. Yeah, they decide to go for it. Drew is like in love with this idea because he just wants to desperately see Lisa outside.
And he gets to hang out with all his friends all the
true.
time.
Kate is
he really has the
nonplussed.
best of both worlds.
Kate's pretty nonplussed about this.
Yeah. Well, I guess they already have a hard time seeing each other.
Right, because she works long hours, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe he's busy with the moving. I don't really know what her logic is about
They
them
didn't
not
really
spending
have
time.
much. I guess, yeah.
I know they're new to the relationship as well. So
Maybe
that,
opposite schedules.
Yeah.
Who
Could be, I
knows?
think, just also a little bit of relationship insecurity with how new it is, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Kate, an insecure person.
Hey now. So we'll get to that. So yeah, they start going on double dates. We see them all in a car together. Drew refuses to let Lisa even sit in the front seat next to him.
Yeah, they're coming from, what was it, the 4th day of the Garlic Festival?
A 4-day garlic festival. What in the fuck is going on in Cleveland, Ohio?
What the fuck?
Day
What
4.
do you do at the Garlic Festival?
I mean, you eat garlic.
You eat. I mean, judging by Drew's belch.
Yeah. And then the response of everyone who had to smell it. Yeah.
But, I mean, God, what do you...
You scare away vampires. You...
Right.
I'm trying to think what else you could do with garlic. Make a nice mashed potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you cook, you cook it, you eat it.
You eat a bunch of it.
That's all I got.
And honestly, I think that's all
grow it.
Drew would really want to.
Maybe, yeah.
I get the feeling Drew's just like, oh, food.
Well, maybe they make they grow the world's largest garlic.
Okay.
They have because I've been to pumpkin festivals in the past.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
all
big
a
thing is who
contest.
grows the biggest pumpkin.
Right.
Now, that's much more remarkable. I feel like a big piece of garlic is probably like a softball size.
Yeah, I was going to say probably like the size of a fist, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a cantaloupe if you're getting crazy, but...
You think a garlic the size of a cantaloupe?
I'm trying to think like competition size garlic. What would warrant like people coming out in droves,
right,
buying tickets to go see?
You're definitely not getting pumpkin-sized garlic.
No, that's too big.
That's ridiculous.
Watermelon even a little big, but cantaloupe maybe.
Yeah, I could see it actually. I thought that was crazy, but I mean, if there has to be something. You're right.
Right.
Why else would you go out to a 4-day garlic festival?
They're probably just eating it. But anyway.
They're not thrilled with the smell of the car that they're stuck in. And they're also just stuck with each other. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Kate, I think, is getting sick of Drew.
This is where we really see it. Kate's getting really sick of it. And even Jay, but Jay's just a nicer guy about it seems.
That's true. Yeah.
But they both are actively trying to jump out of the moving car.
Right. I would say that Drew is taking advantage of their kindness in this regard for his own personal relationship pleasure.
Right.
His romantic pleasure. So
Anyway, when they try to get out of the car at the end of the scene, Drew speeds up.
yeah, locks him in, keeps driving forward.
So Drew is trying to power through this. Cut to, obviously, the Warsaw.
Of course.
No.
America's favorite bar. Not even Cleveland's
No,
anymore.
this
I
has
think at
become
this
America's
point,
favorite
it's America's
bar now.
bar. Mimi, who else walks into the Warsaw?
Yeah,
And he thinks...
And to be clear, this is the whole game. Like this is
This is
this is the
quartet.
second half of this double date.
Yes, exactly. And she's got Drew right where she wants him in terms of, I got you red-handed with this little girl that you've been sneaking around with. I'm going to report you. We're going to get you fired. Jay pulls the card and says, no, I'm dating Lisa.
Yeah.
And he
Perfect.
owns it. Perfect.
Jay owns it. Plan goes exactly how it was scripted.
Until Mimi pulls her card and says, well, if you're dating, why don't you kiss?
I saw this coming a mile away.
1,000%.
When
How
they
else
set
would
this
you
up,
prove
I'm
it?
like, this has to, they're going to have to kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jay tries to be very diplomatic about it.
he
First of all,
gives
Kate
the grandma kiss.
Kate says that he's Amish, which I think is very funny. And
Yeah.
Mimi goes, no, I've kissed Amish before. She's wearing like
She
the
is a
kente cloth.
fascinating-
She's kissing Amish people. What's going on with Mimi?
I want to dive. I hope they do an ep where it's just a day in the life of Mimi.
I would enjoy that.
I want to see what
ep.
she's doing.
Yeah.
I want to see her with her girlfriends.
You think she has girlfriends like that? I think
She
she's just
has
hanging
to
around.
at some. Although, I mean, look, I won't get ahead of myself. In the next episode, she makes one girlfriend, so maybe
that is true. Yeah.
I don't know if that relationship hangs
Yeah.
around, but
So anyway, like you said, Jay goes in for a little grandma kiss on the cheek. She calls his bluff and says, no, that's not good enough. Lisa goes all in. As Lisa realizes what's on the line here, sticks her tongue down that man's throat.
yeah,
Just-
because Mimi's like, that's not good enough.
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
candidly like, that's nothing. Come
Yeah.
on. So
Put on a show. And she
Yeah.
puts on a show.
Lisa
It
went in.
shocks Kate. Shocks Drew.
blown away.
Yeah.
So especially Kate. Kate at first is the one that you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
They end up talking it out in the bathroom here.
Kate gets so upset she runs to the
she
bathroom.
runs to the
Lisa
bathroom.
follows her.
Yes.
Kate's in the stall, kind of like feeling her feelings.
She's etching Lisa's personal information into the bathroom stall. Not totally clear on what she was writing beyond the phone number, but it had something to do with where her head could fit.
Yeah, because Lisa then goes into the stall and goes, just for the record, you spelled my name wrong, and my head won't fit up there. So, but they end up making peace, you know?
Yeah. They talk it out a little bit. I mean, obviously, Kate just, I feel like, needed a minute to digest.
Of course.
I mean, she had to be, because she, as we've come to find out, is a deeply insecure person.
Who's
about
a
this
little
relationship.
prone to lashing out at other people.
Yes.
It's a big growth episode for Kate, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say. And then Lisa was like, look, I'm just doing it to save the relationship. That's all. Her,
Yeah, there's
meaning
nothing
her and
involved in
Drew's.
this. Oh, I do want to, can we circle back real quick? They try to make Jay stand up to prove that it wasn't a big romantic kiss.
Oh, well, isn't that the next?
I don't think it is. I think it's when they're together before they go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because we talk about him being Amish. He doesn't stand up. They ask him to stand up, and he goes, I just want to remind you all, I am Italian. My man's got a boner. Anyway.
Well, then we cut back to the table, though.
We come back to the table.
Cut back to the table.
So the girls have reconciled.
Now we see that it's bugging Drew a little bit, maybe. He's like, oh, she's a pretty good kisser.
And we learn there's some history there. Yeah, he's trying to, wasn't that a good kiss? And he goes, oh, yeah, sure. And then Drew makes a bunch of hay out of it, being like, well, what do you mean she's a good kisser? This, that, and the other. We then learn,
He baits him into saying
he
she's a
baits
good
him into
kisser.
saying it. And then we realize there's history here. The name Arlene Soderquist.
Ooh, yes.
Arlene
Some
Soderquist. Some girl from high school. They all
something
know
like
each
that.
other. We have to remember this.
Yes.
They've been around since middle school. I
Cleveland's
think.
the smallest town in America.
And nobody left.
No.
So they're all there. They're all working together, and they're all dating each other and kissing each other's girlfriends.
Well, actually, we come to find out her name's actually Arlene Easy Soderquist.
So Drew had wanted to get with her, and thought that Jay was in the way of that. Turns out that she was just sleeping with everybody. But Drew's feeling some type of way about this now. He's seeing Jay for the second time in his mind taking a woman that he loves and wanting and getting his mouth all over her.
Right.
So he starts to pick a bar fight with him in the middle of the Warsaw.
Yeah. Drew
Rolling
gets a
up
little
sleeves.
tough guy act. He takes off his jacket. He
Yeah.
starts doing light calisthenics to get warmed up.
Stretch it up on the table, throws his foot up there, reaches out. Yeah.
Jay obviously doesn't want to have to beat the shit out of Drew.
No, I don't think anybody wants to beat the shit out of Drew.
So
really.
Jay stands up, and then they start to they start to get in their fighting
They
position.
get tussle. I wrote down one of my favorite Drew lines, which was like, "I've never been more lucid in my life. In fact, that's the first time I've used lucid correctly in a sentence." Drew is quick as fuck, man. I like a lot of the lines
God,
that he has in this.
he's real quick.
So much to the point where I couldn't even write them down. He
No,
was so
there's
quick with
so
them.
many that I'm missing.
Yeah,
that,
he
or I'm
talks
just
about
gonna
how
pass it.
complicated the situation is. He's like, man, who would have thought that my girlfriend's boyfriend kissing my girlfriend while I'm with my friend would have been complicated? Just like boom, boom, boom. It's impressive.
Yeah. Well, the girls come out and they break up the fight.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
never get to show them go to blows.
We should circle back on our drug co smart pills.
Yes. So it does happen that Drew and Oswald are at this bar as well. Before we really get into the bulk of this, they're hanging out at the Warsaw, of course. All I have here is this line about. I think Drew prompts him, asks him about the smart pills.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
how it's going.
And he's
how
like,
it's going.
Ryan Lewis's line is, these might be the drugs talking, but E equals MC squared.
He says PhD randomly. I think they just think being smart is different acronyms.
Yeah, and
like,
different
equations.
using like college terms. Once they feel like they're like, that might be the pills kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go find
Smart ladies.
Let's go. Yeah,
Let's go to a smart bar.
smart lady bar, and then
They get
Drew,
up.
Drew back down quick he is. He's like, man, they're gonna spend forever looking for live, intelligent, nude girls.
They can't remember where they parked the car. This is my favorite runner.
Yeah, what is this?
I think it's just the idea that no matter how smart they are at these pills,
Where did we park the car?
nobody's ever going to remember where they parked the car, man. You ever have that in a mall parking lot?
Oh my god,
Like,
all the
fuck,
time.
where did I park that car?
And they try to label it. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
You try to remember it on letters and numbers and colors.
B5 blue. You're like, what the fuck?
No, it's all the same.
Yeah.
And then you got to play. At least now you can do the beeper, the remote beeper.
Oh, sure. I was going to say you can just save it on your phone.
Oh, that's
You're
you're a phone guy.
They had beepers in the 90s, I guarantee you.
You think they had like the electric,
Like a car alarm that
unlocking
you
thing?
could press? Absolutely.
No.
They had to.
When did that come into play?
I feel like, go ahead, give it a Google.
I'm gonna give it a
pretty
Goog.
sure.
I really feel like when
When did
Yeah.
when did car alarm beepers
car
be invented? When were they invented?
keys have. Sorry, I got to do this with one hand.
He's typing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm letting you know. They're calling him One Finger Tommy.
All right, electric fobs, 1997.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. So we're 2 years away.
We haven't
canonically.
got there yet.
Okay.
So this was the Wild West.
These boys are going to be shocked in 2 years that they will never have to worry about finding
You'll
that
never
car
have to
again.
worry about finding the
Don't
car
worry, I
again.
got it.
Meanwhile, we're still complaining about it.
Yeah,
and
in the year
we've never known a
2024.
life without it.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, the girls break up the fight. We then go back to the office when we finish this B plot that we brought back up. They think the pills were just sugar pills because Oswald has a cavity. Oswald just has a toothache like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So they agree they're going to go out to lunch. Oswald though says some real smart shit. I can't
Yeah.
remember
Then
what
they
it was.
start talking about like universal. I'm saying universal accelerator, but I'm pretty sure that's just like part of the flat Earth theory. So I
Yeah.
don't know what that means.
They
but
say
basically,
it's smart jargon.
smart jargon.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
And to the point where Lewis is kind of like, did we take sugar pills?
yeah.
And they also forget where the car was parked.
Where's the car? Yeah.
Where's the car? So while we're at the office, though, Drew decides he's going to sneak Lisa back to his desk one more time.
Yeah.
Brings in 5 women along, and one of them's Lisa, 4 other women and Lisa, tells the 4 women they're doing a great job, but Lisa, he's got some talking to do, so if the other 4 women can leave.
Yeah, specifically about the genitalia on the mannequins.
Yeah, the genitalia
I
on
guess
the
it looks
mannequins.
too weird.
You got to sandpaper it down.
Yeah, right. Too realistic. This is ultimately where we get the real ultimatum, no?
Right. Yes.
Right.
Well, because he's trying to sneak around with her again. He's got Mimi looking for a loose Snickers bar that he glued to a
Glued in the vending machine.
It's pretty good. So we get an ultimatum from Lisa here. And the ultimatum is essentially, I want you to get serious about this relationship or we should call it off. And Drew doesn't want to do either of those things. So he blurts out that he loves her to the whole office. And then he quickly catches it up with, I love you. Cleveland, what a town. Just
because the whole office naturally
is looking at him.
Turned their heads.
And he doesn't want that
said,
smoke.
I love you.
He doesn't want that
He
smoke.
doesn't want it. If there's anything we know about Drew at this point, he doesn't want that smoke.
No. Don't give it to him.
Sometimes he does. He wanted that smoke with Jay.
Oh, he wanted
I'll give
that
him
smoke
that.
with Jay. It was really about Arlene.
Yeah.
My sweet
He's
darling
really
Arlene.
my sweet darling Arlene.
Easy Arlene.
So cut to the credit scene, and
We're back. Tim Allen's still in the tree.
Tim Allen's still in the fucking tree.
Yeah. He never left. He's yelling at Goodman.
His voice, he's clearly lost a bit of his voice. Mm-hmm. He's yelling at Goodman, who is apparently on the house.
I'm surprised he's on the house and not in the house.
Yeah.
Given the size of Again, I just want to say, the size of 1990s John Goodman.
I mean, he was a mammoth.
Yeah. He was rotund. He was a rotund man.
They do bring up, Tim Allen does bring up the absurdity of the pool table in this app.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
I think we're validated from the very beginning.
I feel very validated
Yes.
that we're talking about, we should be talking about this a lot more.
Why isn't that a more central point to this whole point, of this whole story? Yeah. So that's episode 17. We're seeing the relationship woes really come into light here.
Yeah. Well, you had to knew it was going to come crumbling down.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is how can you keep this up? But also, God, this whole time I'm like, Drew, just fucking do it, man.
Yeah, dude.
Just quit. Or like fire her. Someone's got to budge.
Yeah. Something's got to give. If you love this woman.
This love is so strong.
Yeah.
They work so well.
Yeah. She's really into it too.
Yes.
And
she's into him.
He's stuck between like wanting a paycheck and wanting pussy. It's a really tough position.
God.
I don't envy him.
No. Not at all.
So that brings us then to episode 18. By the way, I think I mentioned at the top, episode 17 was The Front. That was the title.
Yes,
I don't know
did.
why.
That's a good point.
This is like
this would be fun. We've had a few of these where like the title might not have
mattered as much.
And
this one seems like it matters a little bit, and I can't tell why.
I guess they're putting up a front. No.
Oh,
that's
that
what
could
it
be
is.
it. Yeah, they're putting up a front about their relationship.
Yeah.
And
now they're addressing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the front.
So we then go to episode 18, which is titled "Playing the Unified Field."
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I kind of get this one.
I don't know if I do. So let's talk about it and then circle back on what the fuck
Right.
the episode title means. We have another guest star. It's not Tim Allen, and it's a guest star that's actually in the whole episode.
Yeah.
Not just like making a cameo at the top.
Not just stuck in a tree before and after the title
playing
and credits.
themselves.
Yeah.
No, it is
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, beloved actress. I was trying to think of things that she's in that weren't Freaky Friday, and
Halloween.
I failed. Oh, fuck, Halloween. I'm an idiot. Yeah. She's in Halloween. She just had a great guest bit on The Bear.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
Oh, wait, really? You haven't watched The Bear?
No.
Oh, dude,
I'm behind on it, guys.
watch The
I
Bear.
know the whole world. Every time I say it, everyone's like, "You got to see The Bear." You gotta watch
I'm not even a TV guy like that, and you got to watch The Bear. It's really Anyway,
man.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the guest star in this. She plays Drew's hairdresser. I want to ask you a question at the top. Could you or have you had a female barber / hairdresser?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Whole bunch. I actually just got my hair cut by a woman like 3 months ago.
That's right. I forget
But
that you're going
growing
to that
up,
hairdresser now.
I feel like growing up, I only went to get my hair cut from my mom's friends.
Okay, well, that's...
And then, well,
Was
it's
she
not-
like a professional?
They were professional
Okay,
hairdressers. But my mom was just friends with them, so I would go and get my hair cut by these women all the time. And then I think it was about maybe high school or middle school, my dad started taking me to Supercuts.
Interesting.
But no, I've gotten my hair cut by women lots of times.
I've growing up, I think literally until college. No, maybe not until college, but like until like mid high school, I would get my hair cut by my grandmother. So that, but like professionally, I've gone to like a Great Clips or whatever, and I've had a woman do my hair there.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. At this point in my life, I cut my own hair a lot, or I go to a barber, and I don't know
I don't know. You don't need, I feel like, as much. You keep your hair short.
That's true.
But
so does Drew.
Men are good at.
I want
to
just point that
fade.
out.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'll go to one though because, frankly, I have this long hair now, and men fuck it up.
Yeah, it's true.
And I went to this lady, and she knew exactly what I wanted.
Women deal with the longer hair more. They layer correctly.
She crushed it.
Yeah,
I'd give her a shout out, but I can't remember where I went.
Shout out to a female hairdresser,
a female barber
in
the Upper West Side.
There you go. You can't pay for that kind of publicity.
No.
So yeah, she seems a little flirty with Drew, Jamie Lee Curtis's hairdresser character. She's asking about the secret girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying how much she loves like a buzz cut because she likes the friction.
Yeah. Because I guess her old ex-boyfriend used to be in a military or something.
Yeah, and she like throws him down on the chair and everything. Like it's like really like
kind of sexy.
Yeah, it's really impressive. She's like very clearly like projected as an alternative sort of chick.
Oh yeah.
Tattoos, shorter red hair.
She has like a knife tattooed on her shoulder or something.
Like her thigh, or not her thigh, her arm. Like,
it's nice. That's the thigh of the upper body.
Yes, the thigh of the upper body. I've always been saying it. Folks, we've been saying it for years.
Folks. So also, can we just, $20 for a crew cut?
Yeah.
That seems dumb expensive.
Yeah.
Even for this time. Like now, I would pay that in like New York in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But this is Cleveland and in the 90s, so
it
feels very expensive.
I just went back to my barber back home, and I got the beard trimmed a bit, and I got, you folks can't hear it, but I got a nice haircut. Got a pretty
excellent haircut.
Thank you.
Top of the line haircut.
$20.
He looks like one of the Kelsey brothers.
Also $20. Like it's
That's crazy.
Yeah, with inflation.
Inflation,
the price hasn't changed of the barber cut back home.
Well, when you go to Jamie Lee Curtis, you pay for the sex too.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
Not like she didn't.
The sex appeal.
The sex appeal.
It's the experience. My barber's not throwing me down and saying he likes buzz cuts and playing with my head like that. If Sean was doing that, I'd have problems, I think. So
there was also like one line in here where he asked about our weekend, and she's like we should establish now like a train wreck, not like, or like a bull in a china shop is a better way to put it.
She's a little wild.
She's just going through life by the seat of her pants.
Yeah.
She was like, she was like, how'd your weekend go? And she was like, I think I got married because now I have this ring, and it was a Super Bowl 23. Drew's like, wow, ring. Super Bowl 23.
He's thrilled to see it. Yeah, it's a great introduction to her character because she'll come back.
Yeah.
She's a little bit of a wild card.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
So
start the actual episode proper. Lisa comes by to Drew's desk.
Right.
We're back where we were. Oh no. Well, first of all, she comes to the desk, but Kate's there. She's been given notice by Drew to come and meet someone at his office. It's all really secretive, clandestine. You have to pick up the phone. A man named Bob is going to pick up. Bob is just Drew at Mimi's desk.
Right.
Trying to have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
It's like a whole kit and caboodle, sort of deal.
It was, this one felt unnecessary. For how simple they've made their interactions in the past, this one has gotten way more complicated.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the nature of they're still in the wake of the notice going out, and
I think
everyone's on high alert, and Mimi's really trying to bust them.
Absolutely. So Drew says that the thing she's finally been waiting to hear, he's ready to go public, ... eventually.
Yes.
So he's like clearly trying to lead her on to this idea that might possibly
going
happen
to
in the future.
Scumbag move, Drew.
It really kind of is. At this point, he loses me because he's like he's gaslighting her a little bit. If we can use the therapy speak.
I mean, we've been doing this for way too long now.
We've been doing this for 18 episodes.
Yes, for him to be giving this like lukewarm. We're close.
Yeah.
Come on, Drew. She's an 11 out of 10. She's a catch for him. Come on.
He opens up one drawer. I thought this was sweet. He wrote her Valentine's through the year
And
2060.
I feel like I heard, like, again, forgetting this is in front of a live studio audience. I feel like I heard a "oh" here, but either way, yeah, you're right. I wrote down a Valentine's through 20. It was 68.
I thought it was
60,
2060.
2060. But yeah, a nice round number. But then he was like, some of them at the end are get well cards.
Yeah, starting around 2040, they turn to get well cards. But yeah, so Lisa isn't buying this, and she goes, I was asked on another date, and I'm going to say yes, and I think you should start going on other dates too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the fork in the road.
She just leaves it. She kind of drops that mic right there. Now, we should also point out that when looking for the Valentine's envelopes, she stumbles upon a book that says that's How to Hypnotize Women.
Right. And Drew says the word is platypus.
Platypus, and he snaps.
Platypus.
She's not falling
No,
for it, though.
he's not working. It's not working on her. It's not working on him. It doesn't work on Mimi as
It
we
didn't
learn.
work on Mimi, because at the end of this scene,
We get a platypus, and then when she goes right back with a jackass right back at him.
oh, man.
Drew's heartbroken. Drew
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do. He keeps reaching out to her.
He
to
lost the
point
girl
where
of his dreams.
The gang goes, you can't keep reaching out to her.
No.
You got to move on.
Right. And then this is where Jay pulls out a book.
A little black
A
book.
little book. A little book. Black book.
A little black book. It's so like cliche almost that he has this.
But it's all these quote unquote gorgeous women
Yes.
that are single.
You know the trope of the little black book, right?
Do I not?
I don't know. That's
I
like
don't
it's
know.
like a thing in movies and like pop culture that's like it's a little black book and it's full of women that are like easy or like it's like proto Tinder kind of.
God. Nope. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
It feels like
Like a thing that you would see in a
cliche.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize maybe to the extent to which.
And as we've established in previous, before they started dating Jay and Kate, Jay's kind of a womanizer.
Oh,
Jay's
yeah.
good at, getting ladies interested
We've
in
seen
him.
his earrings.
Absolutely.
We've seen his jewelry.
We've seen your jewelry. We know what your game is.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise that he has this little black book. The surprise is that he still has it while he is exclusive with Kate.
Yeah, and Kate's like, why do you still have that? He says, well, they're all my blood type.
Yes. Yeah.
Good cover. Good
It's
cover.
a great cover. Quick on his feet. So Drew takes the book, starts paging through it, and then he can't do it. He can't call one of these women. But they say, how about that hairdresser?
Right.
Why don't you hit up Sue? We finally have a name to put to the face.
Yes, because Sue was a little flirty, so why not?
Why not bite back?
Anyone who's going to flirt with Drew, he might as well take a shot.
He has reservations about it, because she seems like
A wild
yeah,
human being.
and he is Drew Carey. I
Yeah.
would say human beige.
Right.
Like if the color beige had limbs, that
Yeah.
would be Drew. So he's a little worried. So, but anyway,
He's
yeah,
just anthropomorphic khaki pants.
yes, yeah, that's correct. But he goes in, and after scaring off her 12 o'clock appointment, he's able to approach her and ask her out. First of all, hysterical, missed attempt to get her to think that he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Puts in a clip-on earring on the right ear because Lewis told him to. Completely unaware of what he's signaling about his sexuality
Right.
to poor Sue. Sue is really happy for him, actually, that he comes
Yeah.
out as gay. And then
Right.
he's like, wait, no, hold
No,
on.
no. Oh.
Not what I was trying to do.
But he comes around. He does cut to the chase here, and he's like, I want to ask you out.
Mm-hmm.
Now she turns around, and all of a sudden, you can just see her totally alpha him
It's
now.
like a panther after some prey.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm kind of into virgins.
Mm-hmm.
And then Drew's like, oh, he's like,
I'm not a virgin.
I'm not a virgin. And
What
then-
have you done? And then he whispers in her ear.
And then she's like, oh, you're a virgin. He's like, what? By your definition, my parents are virgins.
Yeah.
So she's in a different world.
She's ready to devour this man whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew's there taking vitamins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, she forces him back into a chair, and his wristwatch goes off.
And he's like, oh, I got to take my vitamins.
Yeah.
And then he's like, do you have water? And she's like, they're chewable. And he's like, yeah, but they're sour.
He's trying to be such a badass for this woman.
Oh, man.
So, but anyway, Sue says yes.
Yeah,
Much to
she does
everybody's
agree.
surprise, she agrees to go on a date. We then see the end of their date at the Warsaw.
Yes.
She's riding in on his back. Lewis is at a table there. It says, greetings, Secretariat. I love it. Perfect.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess they were coming from a biker bar, where there was open mic night, and my favorite line here was like, "Poor Mike."
Poor Mike. Ugh. I want to see what Sue's like night out looks like because we never get the full picture.
Yeah.
But man,
God, she's an animal.
we get another point of conflict in that Lisa and her new date, Dean, also go to the Warsaw.
Yes. They come in right while they're sitting at the table.
He's hot. It's a hot blonde boy. He looks like a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Is how I
Yes,
describe this guy.
absolutely.
He's got the
he was
hair
giving me
going.
like boy band energy, kind of. But yeah, he's.
But don't worry, he's hot, but he's dumb as a fucking
boxer.
rock.
And you know what? This is where I kind of give like Drew and Sue some props because Sue
reads him like a book.
reads him like a book.
Up and down. She says, "Hi, my name is Sue" with an X, and then like 3 minutes later.
Wait, hold on. Wait, we haven't talked about this yet. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is Sue with an X?
Oh, she's just fucking around.
Oh,
She's fucking around. She's doing it as a bit, I think. That's how I took it, at
couldn't
least.
pick up on it. This whole time, I'm like, is it like
You're
like
Dean
an
coded.
Asian way of I am Dean.
You're Dean
I am
coded.
Dean.
You would have been the guy 3 minutes later being like, "Wait, you don't spell Sue with an X."
And then, her response to that line was like, "Oh, I see the batteries are already in."
Little boy toy. Drew talks with Lisa and Dean. They went on a date to all of Drew's favorite places.
Very sweet.
His favorite restaurant, his favorite Baskin Robbins.
Lisa says she didn't get to go with him.
Heartbreaking. Tragic. Shame on you, Drew Carey.
Right.
Yeah. Drew's feeling some type of way after that. Sue has gone upstairs to explore the Warsaw.
And then they go upstairs. Lisa and Dean, they go away. Sue comes running down the stairs and basically tells Drew, "I've offended these two guys down here and they're going to beat me up and they're coming down here right now and you need to stand up for me.
Defend my
you need
honor."
To defend my honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Drew goes, "Absolutely, I'd love to do it." The guys are right behind him. Big, strong biker guys.
I mean, they are huge.
Like,
I
guys-
don't know how tall Drew Carey is.
Yeah.
But these guys make him look
I'm going to Google that.
very tiny. I mean, but big bulging muscles, shirts half unbuttoned.
He's 5'10".
Wow.
Yeah.
These guys had to be 6'3".
Yeah, they were huge. They looked like extras from Pee-wee's Big Adventure is what I would describe them as.
Yes.
Like they're going to try to beat him up in the bar.
And they back him right into the back of the bar there. His back to the bar.
And Drew
And then
coordinates with the bartender.
shout out to the
Shout out the Warsaw bartender.
The Warsaw bartenders. This is why you need a regular bar.
Yeah.
Because of shit like this. He got backed into the bar, and he looks over, and the bartender, without even looking at Drew, picks up the bar baseball bat from behind the bar, hands it
Passes
to him.
it off.
And then Drew go ahead, and he starts threatening them and tells them to get on out of there, and they back off.
And it works. They apologize to Sue,
Yeah.
and they run out of there.
Here's another instance where I will say, we were making fun of a Drew doesn't want this smoke. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he
Drew
gives
Carey-
his crazy courage.
Sometimes Drew can be the cool guy.
Yeah.
And it is kind of surprising to me because you would think that's against every instinct in his body.
Yeah. So he stood up for her, and it works. They go away, and honestly, at this point, I'm like, I can't tell how into or not into. Like it is apparent that like they're not a match, but there have been some redeeming moments for the two.
Yeah.
Like
They're having fun.
They're having fun. When Drew came into the bar, post biker bar initially, he was laughing. They were having a good time with Sue. And then he does say, "I'll defend your honor," and he does successfully defend her honor. So I'm like, okay,
They're having a good time
not
together.
so
I think
bad
it's
so far.
at this point in the ep, I'm thinking opposites attract. I didn't think it was going to work, but it looks like it might be.
Yeah. And then cut to the next scene. He's at work.
But so is Sue, and we see Sue getting dragged into Drew's office,
Yeah. Well,
By-
his cubicle.
into his cubicle,
His
open air cubicle.
Yes.
By our favorite security guard, Chuck.
Chuck
Comes in, and he goes, "Drew, I found her stealing stuff." And what department was Home Goods or something?
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
Home Goods.
Yeah. So she opens up. He starts taking a photo of her. I guess for like the the do not enter sort of wall.
Yeah.
She opens her jacket,
Nothing
Kate
on
goes,
underneath.
"Don't worry, we don't have to worry. She didn't steal from lingerie. We're fine." Closes that back up. Chuck leaves her with Drew because she says that she knows Drew. It's also here where Sue meets Mimi, and they get along swimmingly.
Biggest red flag thus far.
It's a pretty
the
big red
stealing
flag.
was one thing. One thing before we get to them meeting Mimi is I think Chuck's line after he takes the photo and he's like, "I'm gonna leave her here with you, Drew," and then she makes some snarky remark and Chuck goes, "Don't make me get medieval on your ass." So yeah. Anyway, love Chuck. Sue meets Mimi. They get along. They hit it off right away.
Yeah, I think it's the boldness in their outfit choices. That really
that's what they bonded over
she compliments
initially.
her wardrobe. Mimi says thank you. She asks where she gets her hair done, and then she asks, always trying to get clientele.
Yes.
Sue's like, well, would you like me to do your hair?
Yeah.
They start hitting it off. Drew is not a fan of that. She's violent. She steals. She likes
with
Mimi. No good.
It's not going. But I will say in the introduction here was funny. It was Drew was like, Mimi, this is Sue with an X. Sue, this is
Mimi with an extra
chromosome.
Zing, zing,
bang,
90 zinger.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
we then go back to Drew's house,
right?
And we get the voicemail line.
Well, first off, Oswald has the worst haircut.
Oh yeah, I guess as a
seen.
very minor B plot, Oswald has been asking for hair advice from Sue, and Sue's been reluctant to give it to him.
Right,
but he's got this.
What did
haircut.
Oswald ever do to anyone?
Yeah,
he's like a golden retriever of human beings.
Yeah, he's just kind of stupid.
He's just like a dumb dog that'll follow you around.
It's it's unfair the shit that he gets.
Yeah, although he does. Okay, I guess he does ask a lot.
Yeah,
and he is pretty lazy. All right, you know what? I'm a little torn on.
Never
Oswald.
mind. Fuck Oswald. Fuck you, Diedrich Bader. You dumb piece of shit. No, Diedrich. I'm kidding. It's just the character. Anyway, yeah, he's got the worst haircut. It's like bangs and then like buzzed on the side, almost like you're getting like a mohawk.
Right. I didn't understand what the vision was at all. It just looked wet. It looked like he just got wet hair.
That's the worst thing you can say about a haircut. Is it just looks
wet.
Your hair
all
looks
the time.
wet. Yeah, he's asking Lewis if his hair is cool, and Lewis says, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Well, then why did that woman at the Warsaw point and laugh at me?"
So naturally, then Drew, Jay, Kate all walk in.
And all point and laugh
and
at his hair,
well.
and then he puts up the hoodie and runs away.
Drew checks his messages.
And he's got two. And the first is from Lisa. And Lisa says, "I'm not going to see Dean anymore." And I think I figured out a way that we can see each other at work.
Yep.
So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And that was it. She's like, "I'm going to bed."
7:30.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going to bed at 7:30. If you put a gun to my head, I don't think I could do it.
Right.
Yeah. Like, truly, God bless Lisa. God bless.
Yeah, she has to get a real jump on it.
Yeah.
That's insane. But anyway.
His second call.
Because honestly, I didn't realize Drew still has a date. Lisa's going to bed. Drew still has a date that night set up with Sue.
So it's Sue, and she's saying, "Meet me at the top of the Cleveland Water Tower."
Yeah.
And bring grippy shoes. Which then prompted a discussion of what are grippy shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, these people never worked in a restaurant.
I mean, wait, is that like a thing for restaurants?
Yeah, like if you like wet
get
floors
greasy.
or wet. Yeah, like the idea of like you're washing dishes. I used to wear Converse when I would work at like a bagel shop.
Those aren't grippy shoes.
No, not grippy shoes at all. I once fell so hard and I dropped a bunch of like knives on the ground. I'm so lucky I made it unscathed. It was really bad.
You dropped not.
Yeah,
you dropped them forward though, right?
Yes.
It would have been bad to slip backwards like a cartoon,
and
then they fall on.
It was pretty bad. My supervisor did yell at me. I did not change my shoes after that, but I just got better at walking around in Converse.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, grippy shoes. It's like,
well, now you can get like grippy Converse. They make like the hike ones.
I've got some of those. I've got the weather resistant ones, like the leather Converse.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good. They make Crocs now. Crocs are pretty good grip wise, but you can wear Crocs for like restaurants that don't have the holes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Wait, Crocs without the holes? What? That's
yeah. You just it's a sauna for your foot.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, just hey, you know what? You know the breathable part of these? We just got rid of that.
Just got rid of that.
Yeah.
Just so you can walk around in your favorite style in the restaurant.
I guess it is just a proper clog then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I these are just the things that Instagram thinks I want. It's like, hey, Maddie Matheson's wearing clogs with no holes. I'm like, great. I'm sure that smells great. No problem.
Clogs are like real proper clogs wooden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was just making
But
sure.
it's the idea of like just a shoe.
No, I totally get where you were headed. I was just having a moment where I doubted my own.
No, I think
knowledge
the
of
origin
clogs.
of clogs are. I guess the origin of shoes are that they're wooden.
Yeah, oh God.
Probably.
Holy shit. Walking around in wooden sandals and sneakers.
Mama, Papa,
God.
I have a blister.
Imagine the NBA.
Oh my God.
Back when they had to wear wooden shoes.
Yeah, back when it was a basket, an actual physical basket, and a
Yeah.
fruit.
Basketball.
Like you throw up an orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first year of the NBA. A lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't realize.
They were all running around in wooden shoes, and it was just a fruit basket.
Charles Barkley put up 20 in his first game with wooden shoes. So yeah, Drew goes out to this date. We see him climbing up the ladder to the top of the water tower.
I didn't understand this part. So he gets to the top and he's looking for her, and there she comes, off a bungee cord.
Bungee cording off the top, the tippy top of the water tower.
Yeah, but like, what is the structural build of this water tower?
That's a great question.
That she was able to even. And
I thought you
bungee
meant
jump
more
to
like
there.
what is it signaling that like? And I was like, oh, she's weird and quirky and
No.
alt. But yeah,
I
no.
wonder. It just feels like it's like,
Yeah.
where's she coming from?
Yeah, it's a good point. I wonder if there's like an arrow at the top or something, like
Yeah.
a spike at the top that maybe she's.
Maybe there's a water tower next to it that's taller.
Okay, sure. Yeah, the twin towers, if you will.
But anyway, he's up there, and Drew is terrified to be up there. He won't even
1000%.
look over the edge.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's hanging herself over the edge.
It again paints the picture of Drew the scaredy cat
This
versus
is clearly
Sue,
not a
the-
match.
The hero,
Right.
the bold woman.
And this is where, between this and Lisa leaving the message about finding a way to make this work, this is where Drew's finally like, I'm not sure that I've had a really great time with you this week, Sue, but
This probably
this
isn't going to
probably
work
isn't
out.
going to work for us. And
He
she's like,
he
"You're
expresses that
dumping me?"
he expresses that he has feelings for a woman that he didn't think he had anymore.
Right.
And she goes,
Which, like, Sue knows about Lisa. She was asking about her, so
she's been cutting his hair. She's aware.
right.
So yeah, Drew gets worried when she's like, oh, like she responds as like, you're dumping me, and thinks that she's gonna jump off the water tower. She's like, no, not for you.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I thought that was pretty.
She was like, I would sooner throw you off of this water
Than
tower.
throw myself off.
And then, but she does back him into the water tower and kiss him.
We get a really passionate Jamie Lee Curtis, Drew Carey kiss.
Yeah.
It was pretty nice. Pretty good for Drew.
Yeah, I was happy for him.
Yeah. He's still a virgin, but you know
He's still a virgin.
But he got
Also,
a big
I guess
kiss.
they hadn't been kissing because she kind of presented it like, it's time we do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess they only had been together for a week.
Yeah.
You know?
3 dates.
Yeah.
But, I mean, come on.
By the third
Drew,
date.
you're an adult.
Yeah.
You gotta kiss
Man
her
up.
before the third date.
Man up, Drew. If you can beat the shit or threaten to beat the shit out of guys with a baseball bat, you can kiss a woman.
Other thing in this scene was, as he was looking over Cleveland, he did say, who wrote "Bite Me" on my roof?
That's good. It was John Goodman.
Yes.
Canonically, it has to have
had
been
to be
John Goodman.
Goodman at this point. Yeah.
So that resolves sort of the Sue saga, if you will.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I keep finding these other lines that I wrote. It was right after she kissed Drew in this
Yeah.
scene. He was like, wow, when did you get that pierced?
Yep. She's a wild thing.
Oh, man.
Farewell to Sue. We hardly knew you. We go to the office one last time for this episode, and we get a bit of a cliffhanger here. Kate comes in and approaches Drew and says there's a management position open for the personal shopper program. Don't know what the hell that means.
Nope.
But it's a big job, and Kate thinks that she's ready for it.
I think Kate's ready for it.
Absolutely. She kind of lays out the case to Drew. She's the employee with the most return customers coming to her. She's very clearly like in touch with what the customers want. She should get it. Drew's ecstatic about it and goes, listen, You've helped me with so much. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you get this job.
Yeah.
Great.
Good guy, Drew.
Lisa
Yeah.
then comes in and goes, I figured out a way that we can date. And Drew is also thrilled for this. He can't wait to hear the idea. And then Lisa goes, there's a management position open in the personal shopper program, and if you can get me the job, we can start dating, and there's no problems, and we can fool around at work. Oh,
man, what gutted.
What do you do?
Gutted for Drew.
What do you do here?
Oh, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
you got to give it to Kate.
I think you got to give it to Kate.
You got to give it to Kate.
But man, then you're done.
We get a third element to this.
Sure, I guess we
Mimi comes over and
Yep.
she's like, I'm here for the
personal shopper
personal
management
shopper
program.
management position. Mr. Bell says he's fully behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Drew has a good line here that even if he was, I couldn't see him. But so I know it's not like, oh, he's not going to give it to Mimi, but
She is there.
If
There's 3 different
if
women.
Mr. Bell is behind him,
Yeah.
her, sorry, bleh. If Mr. Bell is behind her, now he has 3 conflicts of interest: his friendship with Kate,
His relationship with Lisa,
and his boss,
and his standing with his boss. So that's kind of where we leave off. There's a credits scene with Mimi getting her hair done by Sue.
They're buds now.
They're buds. They're exchanging stories. It ends with them dancing to polka music because Sue says she's never.
She says she's embarrassed to admit it, but she can't polka, and which prompts
Mimi
to go. And you live in Cleveland, and then she plays the polka music that was naturally sitting right there.
Of course. Well, just every hair salon in Cleveland has a boombox ready to go with polka music.
Yeah,
just hit it. Is it like a big Polish community out in Cleveland?
Yeah, I feel like Rust Belt in general
has a lot of it.
Yeah,
sure.
That checks out to me.
But yeah,
that was it.
Those are those episodes. Man, what a conundrum for our good friend Drew Carey.
How's he gonna get out of this one?
How's he gonna get out of this jam? I think you are right. It should go to Kate.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how this is gonna go. I mean, I think it might.
He seems to have no. I don't know. I feel like he does go friends first.
Yeah, so. I think that's fair. I think that's right. But,
But Lisa is his one true love.
We've got 4 episodes to figure it out. I don't know if it's going to take all 4 episodes to figure this out.
I really feel like we might figure it out in 10 minutes in the next episode.
Right. But I think the repercussions of it we might be dealing with for a couple episodes. So we'll see as we get near the end here how it goes.
Yeah.
Man, never a dull moment in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, no. What a kooky place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a kooky place.
Yeah. They're just bungee jumping off of water towers.
Mm-hmm.
And, would you bungee jump ever?
No, I don't think so.
Me neither.
No,
Fuck
I'm too scared.
I'd skydive before I'd bungee jump.
That makes less sense to me.
Not at all.
I would bungee jump before I'd skydive.
No, because bungee jump, you're so close to the ground, and you got to go head first. That's nuts. That's crazy to me. You're already so close, and then like my irrational fear would be, what if the cord's too long?
Wait. I'm sorry. Did you just say your argument is you have to go head first?
Yeah.
You have to go head first when you skydive.
No, you have your arms out and your chest first and all that, and
I guess
you could go butt first if you want. You can adjust. It might be weird to go,
but here's the thing. I guess with
formation.
The bungee cord, I don't know. I think I'm pretty confident the bungee cord wouldn't. I wouldn't sign up for it if they were like the bungee cord might rip. Like I wouldn't do that. You don't know if the parachute's going to work if you skydive.
Well, don't you go with? Ideally, you go with an instructor.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah,
but I guess you're right. But even at that point, like I just feel like the fear, you have so much longer to process it, and with a bungee jump, it's like it's. But then again, maybe that's better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bungee jump. I would skydive. I think
that's wild. That's wild. Would you be one of those guys that's like, oh, I'm skydiving at the age of 93? Like, I see those dudes on the news, and I'm like, you're going to die.
I guess like, if I did have a death wish.
I believe the late, great George H.W. Bush skydived for, like, one of his 90-something birthdays.
In the wheelchair?
No, he wasn't in the wheelchair. He was, like, on, somebody, like, strapped him to him.
Just his legs fluttering behind him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. God bless.
God bless
you,
the
Poppy.
USA.
I miss you, Poppy, every day.
Every single day.
Thank you for listening to another episode of
Cleveland Rocks.
I'm sorry if you had to hear my coughing. I'm going to work to be better by episode 10.
Follow us on Instagram.
Cleveland Rocks Podcast. You can email us, clevelandrockspodcast@gmail.com. Tweet at Drew Carey that you want him to come on this podcast.
Please, tweet at him, Instagram, DM him.
Yeah, whatever you got to do.
Whatever you got to do.
Don't harass Drew, but just harass him a little bit. Like a socially acceptable harassment.
Yeah. Not in like a crazy way.
Yeah, nobody send anybody out to go see him at the Paramount lot or something. Like, I don't want that.
No.
Or the Warner Brothers lot, wherever the hell they take
Absolutely
that.
not.
Don't want that.
We condemn that behavior.
I condemn that behavior strongly.
Okay.
But I still want Drew on the show. So thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.